Hi, and thanks for joining me. I didn't want to let the occasion of the Queen's passing go by without making any comment. For any of us under the age of 70, she was the only monarch we had known, and she served her country extremely well. Whilst we mourn the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth and are sad in doing so, we should celebrate her long life and give thanks for all she did for our nation and many others around the world. I just want to say a few words about the Queen and about my father, who many of you will know died earlier in the year at the age of 98. In my lifetime there were a couple of missed opportunities to meet the Queen, but I was at a function many years ago where the Queen and Prince Philip were in attendance, and I'll come back to that later. Firstly, I'd like to mention my dear old dad, who was born in 1924. He joined the Royal Marines during the war, was demobilised just before Christmas 1945, and on New Year's Day 1946 joined the Metropolitan Police Force. For those of you that don't know, that is the police force that covers Greater London. He served in the police force for 32 years and retired in 1977 with the rank of Chief Detective Inspector. In the 1960s he was in the flying squad at Scotland Yard, immortalised by John Thor in the TV series The Sweeney, and throughout his career he was based in various North London police stations. In September 1966, along with two other officers, he was commended for his part in the capture of an armed escaped prisoner from Wormwood Scrubs. But that was not the end of it. In early February 1967, he received a letter from the Prime Minister's office advising he was to be awarded the British Empire Medal for gallantry. This had to remain confidential until it was announced in the London Gazette a few days later. He also received a letter from the Home Secretary, Roy Jenkins. I was 12 at the time and was looking forward to going to Buckingham Palace for Dad to receive his medal from the Queen, but unfortunately that was not to be. He received a note from the Queen sending her regret that she was unable to give him his medal personally. He actually received it from the Lord Lieutenant of Greater London. The Gallantry Award is distinguished by the oak leaves on the ribbon. Amongst all the letters and press cuttings we have, which are held by my brother Brian, we have nothing telling us when the award was actually made. None of the press cuttings or photos have got a date on them, so we're totally in the dark. What we do have is this photograph taken at the presentation. I'm stood on the right, and this is a very rare photo of me without my beard. It goes without saying that we were immensely proud of our father. He did a great job. Fast forward to July 1988, when the Queen visited Torbay on the occasion of the 300th anniversary of William of Orange landing at Brixham. He was soon to become King William III, but I'm not going to give a history lesson. The borough of Torbay is made up of the towns of Torquay, where I was living, Paignton and Brixham, and is also known as the English Riviera. In 1988 I was chairman of the Torquay Chamber of Trade and Commerce, the youngest in its 90 years history. In fact, when I think about it, I was 34 then, which is half a lifetime ago, as I'm 68 now. You just wonder where the years have gone in between. As part of the royal visit, the Queen and Prince Philip attended a reception for local councillors and dignitaries at the English Riviera Centre, which had opened the year before. Attendees were arranged on 2 levels. I seem to recall I was on the upper level. When they arrived, word went around that as there were so many attendees, the Queen and Prince Philip would separate and each meet people on 1 level only. It was an anxious time while we waited to see who was going to be on each floor. I got to meet and talk to Prince Philip, but sadly not the Queen. I thought my father might have passed away the day before he did, as that was my mother's birthday. But he wouldn't have known what day of the week it was, as he was just too poorly. He actually passed away on the 21st of April, which was Her Majesty the Queen's birthday, which I found quite touching. May the Queen rest in eternal peace, knowing she has served her people in an exemplary manner and done much more than was ever expected of her. Long live the King.